Once you have cleaned up your systems, once you have somebody in charge of taking care of these, once you have updated, the Mr., the Mrs., the kids, the pet, their hobbies and everything, then you have to create a plan to stay in touch with these people, right? So how do you go about that? As I said, you can call and ask for referrals. You can do past client events, like either you get togethers with COVID. I know what's different. You can do so many things, but I think those are very typical and standard events where people, they kind of like, the industry has trained them to kind of understand that's kind of like a given right now, right? If you're a realtor and you don't do past client events, what kind of realtor are you, right? So that's just, people start thinking like that. So this comes from a book that I read every year. It's called The 7 Levels of Communication. That's a book. Here you go. I see hands up right there. So that's a book that I read because this book talks about this acronym called FORD, FORD. The F stands for family, O for occupation, R for recreation, and D for dreams. And as long as you are able to talk to people regarding these 4 areas of their lives, you will have a very good conversation with people. Everybody likes to know about their families when you follow up with them. Everybody wants to tell you how frustrated is their job or how nice is their job and how they enjoy it or they like it. And again, a conversation can very simply, I remember this guy I was talking to, he was so frustrated that his house now didn't fit the new lifestyle under COVID restrictions. And I said, maybe it's time for you to upgrade. And he said, as a matter of fact, I think it is. I was able to get a listing and a purchase just out of talking about how much he hates his job because he didn't have a place to have Zoom meetings.
I have a question about that. Are you also having other agents make these calls that are on the team, and also some virtual assistants like your ISAs, or
Yes.
or is it just you? Okay.
So it is a combination of the agents have to stay in touch with their database. That's mandatory. They have to do it. And then the virtual assistants, ISAs, also kind of, they come in with us to give you some information about the properties as they see the task, where how many, what are my next 5-10 people that I'm calling next day. They can prepare that for you to say, just put the more important information up front. And so that when you're having the conversation, Tristan, okay, I see notes about Tristan, right? And then you just go about those things and talk about that. But then here's where the money is. Here's what I think the secret weapon of this is, that creating the plan is provide value. People will stick to others that provide value. So I'll give you a couple tips of things that you guys may consider. Number 1, okay, do webinars. Webinars about downsizing, creating a power of attorney, creating a will, creating a estate, and invite other people to come to these webinars. Like an attorney says, okay, we want to create a will. We are to this stage in our lives that is important for them to have a will. So when you invite somebody, you send those questions and you talk about having these things created, or a power of attorney. So right last year when COVID started, a lot of people were, especially if they were like senior citizens, they were afraid of having to go and sign papers. So we created something about powers of attorney, like POAs, right? You have to show people that these can be done. So we had an attorney come over and talk about what it is, how much it costs. And actually, as they were working with us, we gave it for free to them. Says, look, if you want to sell a house right now, you're in the process, but you're afraid to going out, we will do a power of attorney through one of our attorneys at no cost to you, and we can just move forward, right? Adding value to people to do their things.